Hello everybody, I'm Jack Lerond, your Nashville area real estate agent, and today we're going to do a simple overview of what it means to be in Middle Tennessee. So if you like the video, please subscribe. If you have any questions about any of the areas I'm going to discover today for you, please contact me, text, email, all my information is going to be down below. But I want to take some time today and put some definition around Middle Tennessee. Now myself, I'm a Texan. I migrated here about 10 years ago, and when I first got here, everybody referred to this area that I live in, which is Nashville, as Middle Tennessee. And by definition, it is in the middle of Tennessee. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through this map. I'm not going to show you a broad area of Tennessee. I'm going to drill it down into the area that I live in, which is the Nashville area, which really comprises of two distinct counties, which is Davidson County in Nashville and Williamson County, which borders Nashville on the south. And that's for towns such as Franklin, Brentwood, Fairview, Arrington, those types of areas. So we're going to walk through that. I'm going to kind of show you some distances between things. I myself, when I go to the airport, for example, I'm on the west side of Nashville, so I have to drive about 45 minutes to get to the airport. However, for all the party goers coming in to go downtown to Broadway, when they hit the airport, it's 15 minutes, set your bags down, rip up your liver, jump back in the cab. 15 minutes later, you're on your plane, and you have all the memories to talk about all the stuff you shouldn't have done, but also the photos that you do have for the things you did get to do. So let's take a walk through and see what this looks like for you, okay? Looking at the map here, I've outlined the state of Tennessee. It's a gorgeous state, by the way. So I'm from Texas. We don't really have seasons in Texas. If they do, they all happen in one day. Here in Tennessee, though, it's a beautiful state. On the west side of Tennessee, where Memphis is, it's bordered by the Mississippi River, deep river. And then going over towards Knoxville, it's bordered by the Smoky Mountains. So not Deliverance type, but really cool area over there. Love Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, great family environment. Also, I come from a beach area in South Texas. The beaches here in Alabama and Georgia and Florida are sort of the north side of the Gulf, and it's only about a 6-hour drive from where I live straight down to the beach. That's excluding bathroom breaks and Whataburger stops, which were only in Alabama up until recently. I digress though. So as we move through the map here, we're going to drill down into the Nashville area. And again, it consists of two counties, Davidson County and Williamson County. And I'm going to draw out some things in each one of those areas that you may be interested in. But looking at the map, it kind of is clear why the Nashville area is defined as Middle Tennessee. It literally sits smack dab in the middle of Tennessee. It's about 3 hours to Knoxville to go east. It's about 3 hours to go Memphis west. It's maybe an hour and a half from here to get to the Kentucky border. And to go down to Alabama, again, it's probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get down that direction, okay? There's about 4 or 5 main thoroughways that go through Middle Tennessee, and they all kind of converge in Nashville. It's 40 east and west, I-65 north and south, I-24 north and south, and then you have some off-feeder roads like Franklin Road, which used to be the main thoroughfare from Nashville down to Alabama. So you can pretty much navigate through Middle Tennessee and Tennessee in general along those major roads. Interstate 840, which was just developed south of Franklin recently, connects sort of southern Tennessee or southern Nashville from east to west on I-40. You get on it sort of inside of Dixon, on the other side of Lebanon, and you can kind of bypass all the congestion downtown in Nashville, depending on what time you come through. So let's jump in. It's a great time to be discussing Middle Tennessee. The NFL football team Titans are discussing a brand new dome stadium right now. The Predators hockey is going off right now. The Tennessee Vols are doing really well in the polls in the game. So great, energy here in Tennessee. I love being here. Great family environment. I myself am a single dad with 3 kids. No better place so far for me to raise my family. I'm not taking them anywhere else. And it gives us a lot of activities to do. Plus, it's a great real estate market as well. A lot of new construction coming online, great new shopping centers, a lot of events to do. I've recorded a lot of that stuff already, so there'll be links down below for you to access that. But subscribe to my channel because I'm going to put a lot of new content on there that you're going to want to know about. Or if you don't, know about it or want to know about it and I haven't done it, please leave a comment and I'll see if I can get with my team to set that up for you. I've got a fantastic media team that does all this for me. I by myself could not do it. So let's jump into this and take a look. So as you can see, I've written out or designed or devised the boundary here for Davidson County in Middle Tennessee. Obviously, at the heart of Davidson County is Nashville. Nashville, outside of Tennessee, is known kind of as Nash Vegas. It is number 2 or the first destination now for a lot of partygoers in this area. Bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, birthdays, weddings. And the reason being is when you're out at our airport, which is just east of Nashville on Interstate 40, you literally land at the airport, get you a ride share, a taxi, or have a friend pick you up, and you're to your hotel room in 15 minutes, depending on traffic. So door to door, you're off your flight, bags are set down, and you're straight into a honky-tonk, which for the most part, the honky-tonks here only shut down for a couple hours, but it's 24/7, 365 music and entertainment. You've got 2 and 3 level honky-tonks, which will have music on each floor. Broadway's a single, basically 5 to 6 block area that leads north of 40 down to the river, which is the Cumberland River. On the Cumberland River, you cross over that on a walking bridge, and you've got the Tennessee Titans Stadium right there, as well as some parks and so forth. So, in other words, for people wanting to get together, have a centrally located area to come into, great weather, great food, entertainment, fun people, fun environment, Nashville tends to be the hub for a lot of that. And the reasons I spoke about, easy to get into, plenty of hotel space, and you don't have to go cart around everywhere once you're here. Set your bags down. It's a walking environment, or stumbling, depending on which one you're doing here. And it's easy to get back out of once you're ready and you've had enough of it. So not like Vegas, I go there quite a bit. It's about a 3.5 hour flight for me from Nashville to Las Vegas, and it's a lot more spread out. I just understand why people come here to Nashville versus wanting to go to Las Vegas, but hey, that's just preferential, right? So again, Nashville, in the center of Nashville is Broadway. Once you get on the interstates in Nashville, you're either looking at I-65 north and south, or I-40 east and west, or I-24 north and south, and that's going to take you either, to Georgia, to Alabama, or Kentucky, and various areas, either west and east and west as well too. Some of the areas around Nashville, subdivisions, cities, as you so speak, if you're not living in Nashville proper, kind of surrounding the east, west, and north side of Nashville would be communities such as Hendersonville, Gallatin. Those would be more on the north side, like Germantown as well too. To the east of it, you'd have Lebanon. To the southeast, you'd have Murfreesboro, which is home to Tennessee State University. To the west, you're going to have communities like Bellevue, which is west out on 840. So those are some of the areas, residential areas. They're also going to have their associated school systems to it. But downtown Nashville, mainly in the heart of Nashville, is a lot of condominium type of environments. So you have a lot of working professionals, young families, or just young couples in that area. And then as they start to mature and branch out, they move sort of into the subdivisions or the cities just surrounding Nashville itself too. Now those areas I have not done any content on. I've primarily focused in the area that I live in, which is just south of Nashville. However, if there is anything that you're interested in any one of those areas, please reach out to me, and then we can discuss that, and I can go shoot some content on something that you might be interested in some of those areas. Those areas do have construction going on in them as well too, because we have such a migration of people, an influx of people coming into our state. Great weather, no income tax, great school systems, which I'm going to touch on a little bit here in Williamson County. Great entertainment, not only the music component of it, but obviously the sports component of it, and a great central location just kind of in the southeast area of the United States to gain access for wherever you want to travel to by car or by plane. So let's jump now down into the other area that I'm keen on talking to you guys about, which is Williamson County. So I'm going to update my map. Okay, so now what I've outlined here on the map is Williamson County, Tennessee. So Williamson County, Tennessee sits just south of Nashville, or Davidson County, Tennessee, and the main corridor for Williamson County is I-65. And what you'll see, or what we see in Williamson County, is a lot of people buying residence in various neighborhoods, either in Brentwood, Franklin, Fairview, Arrington, West Haven and Franklin, those types of areas. And living there, they may work or not work in Williamson County, or they commute into Nashville. And depending on what area of Williamson County you're in, obviously the further south, the more time it's going to take to commute in. But a lot of people actually do that. Now, there's a few reasons for that. Williamson County has a lot of open green space. The county itself implemented new zoning codes just recently, actually 2 years ago, that state that if your land is undeveloped, in other words, there's not a house sitting on it, there is now a 5-acre minimum per home site to build new properties on. So what that does is it eliminates the big box builders from coming in and basically dicing up into tiny lots and putting massive houses on that and creating massive infrastructure problems. So I came from Austin. They did not implement that type of foresight into their planning and built everything on top of everything else, including in ditches and flood zones, just because there was no other place to put houses. So Williamson County saw the growth happening and decided to take on a more sort of progressive look at about how they wanted to manage their green spaces, because there's a lot of generational properties, generational farms, generational ranches in Williamson County, and there's a lot of developers looking for land to develop because there's such a demand for housing. And the reason for that is a lot of families want their kids to be in Williamson County schools. There's about 9 independent school districts that are county schools in Williamson County. They rank in the state, period in and period out, as the top school system in the state of Tennessee. But they also have several schools that rank nationally for their academics as well too. I know in my town of Fairview, which is in Williamson County, Tennessee, our school has one of the only programs in the whole state of Tennessee for electronics and mechanics that is funded directly by the office of the governor. And so what that means is the students in my school actually can, or my kids' school can actually get a 2-year associate's degree or a 2-year certificate in mechatronics and immediately move from there once they graduate into the workforce, because they're actually educated and trained on working on robotics and software. So those types of programs and those types of enablements in our school system is a big draw for people coming in, whether they have kids or not, because the values of properties tend to be more stable when you have a very focused and committed school system on turning out the best possible students that they can do that in. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the green space. I mean, Williamson County and Tennessee in general, like I mentioned earlier, is a gorgeous state. I actually drive south out of Franklin to go into my little town. I pass over a mountain pass, not a huge mountain like the Rockies or the Smokies, but I go through a mountain pass, and on the other side of the mountain pass is a valley, and that's where I live in, and it's gorgeous. I mean, horse farms, natural beauty, all sorts of animals. It's deer season now, so we have tons of deer moving around, turkeys are moving around. I literally have 2 possums, a rabbit, a cat, and a groundhog that come visit my property, and I live in town. So just kind of the wildlife that's around here, but it's a gorgeous area, great communities, easy to get around, a lot of good infrastructure to drive around in. Stores are convenient, schools are great, but on top of that, there is a lot of development and new construction that's happening right now, and I've done some very detailed walkthroughs of communities like Brentwood, Fairview. I'm about to do one for Franklin as well too, in Arrington. And the reason I picked those is there's a lot of communities that are coming online, a lot of construction, new building going on, and I wanted to highlight what those areas are, because each one offers something unique, and each one is going to fit something that you potentially could be looking for. And that's what I'm here to do, is to connect the unknown to what I don't know about you yet, but I wish to find out is what you're looking for when you're moving or deciding to come here to Tennessee, like I did, mentioned earlier, several years ago. Okay, so let's look at some of these areas here going into Williamson County, and we're going to work south of Nashville. And I'm going to start off with the first community here on the map, which is Brentwood, Tennessee. Okay. We are now moving into Williamson County. We're on the northern end of Williamson County, which the first community or city you'll come to for that is Brentwood. And again, I'm talking about driving Interstate I-65 out of Nashville south. You'll come into Brentwood to be one of your first exits. Old Hickory defines that as sort of the edge between Nashville and Brentwood. And it's funny, when I first moved to Middle Tennessee, we moved into a rental house right off of Old Hickory, and we told everybody we lived in Brentwood that was in Brentwood. Well, when I was out playing golf, or my ex-wife was at her mommy meetup groups, that's everything in Brentwood wanted to know, is like, where in Brentwood do you live? And so come to find out, we were like one block off of actually officially living in Brentwood. We were still in Nashville. So there's some clear delineation lines in that area. And the reason they were asking us that is like they knew we had kids about to start school, and they wanted to inform us, well, if you're thinking you're going to be going into Williamson County schools, you're actually zoned for Nashville because you're literally one street over from being in the Brentwood or Williamson County School District. So we were learning on the fly. So hopefully some of the things that I'm conveying to you as you're considering a move here, depending on what area you want to move in, you'll have that understanding before. But again, I'm not going to cover everything on here. So if you have any additional questions or things in the area that you're curious about that I did not cover here, please leave a comment, please email me, please call me, and I'll be able to either address those onto the phone, or I can go out and do some shoots on that as well too. So Brentwood, I-65, I've done a what's called a vlog, a virtual sort of walkthrough of Brentwood. In Brentwood, I've talked about the various exits off I-65, the retail shopping such as Costco, Home Depot, REI, Nordstrom Rack, things like that, as well as eateries, fine dining, mid-dining, fast food, and then some of the sort of interesting areas like a Harley-Davidson area or shop, or a Cool Springs Mall. So things you would like to be interested in when you're looking at the Brentwood area, or you want to live somewhere outside of Brentwood and access some of those things. I've done a very detailed video walkthrough of Brentwood, so that'll be down below. Take some time, look into that. Again, subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting new content relative to this area frequently as I continue to broadcast and map and market areas that are being developed for new housing in this area. Again, we're in a really good housing market here. So reach out to me. I actually know of some developments going on that are not publicly available yet. So reach out to me and I can walk through those with you as well too. The affordability in the area, not just Brentwood. Sometimes you can find something to get in that's a $400,000 or $500,000 new construction, but also too, there's stuff that now goes up to $6 or $7 million. Depending on what you're willing to spend or wanting to spend, you can find something for anybody in that area, and excluding some of the lower end stuff, which is kind of hard to find, as you can imagine. I came from an area, again, Austin, in which people would buy sort of the entry level stuff, tear it down and put something bigger up and then charge a little bit more for it. So again, I talked earlier, Williamson County's addressing that in areas of green space so that we don't lose all of our gorgeous greenery out in this area. And we're going to continue now to walk through south of Brentwood into the next area, which is Franklin, Tennessee. And again, that's just continuing south on Interstate 65. And we're going to go into the Franklin neighborhood now, or community now. Now, Franklin, Tennessee sits just south of Brentwood. I would say the exit, that's sort of the demarcation line between Brentwood and Franklin, is probably the Cool Springs area exit right off of I-65. You take that exit, depending on which way you go, right or left, either again north or south, you'll still be in Brentwood, or you'll be leaving Brentwood and going into Franklin. Okay, Franklin off of 65 has some areas east of 65 and right on 65, but the downtown Franklin area is actually more west of 65. And I'll be recording a walkthrough similar to what I did in Brentwood of Franklin. It's really a cute little area. It's got a town square with a roundabout in it. That's a big circle that the cars go in and get off, for those that know what a roundabout is. But cool shopping. They just had a pumpkin fest down there. They do street festivals all the time, beer festivals. It's a walking sort of, shops and eating community in the downtown Franklin area. So really cool to get around in. There's plenty of development going on around that as well too. So again, I'm going to do a walkthrough of Franklin. I'm going to touch on some of the communities available in there, but another really cool area inside of Williamson County. And I would say between Brentwood and Franklin, those are the predominant areas of population consolidation, because it does serve a lot of the entertainment, shopping, and sort of dining needs that people moving to this area really like to have. And it does offer more of a get out and walk type of feel, like you'd be used to in some other, denser city areas. So that's Brentwood, that's Franklin. Now we're going to move into an area that I know really well, and that is Fairview, Tennessee. So Fairview, Tennessee, which I often joke about, is just southwest of Brentwood and Franklin. It is the third largest kind of dense area, and getting denser by the minute in population, of Williamson County. I often joke we're the pinky toe of Williamson County, and what I mean by that is it's the last affordable area in Williamson County that provides you Williamson County schools. You just move south of Fairview on the south side of Interstate 840, which I mentioned earlier, and you're in a different county, which means a different zoning school system. So it's more of a rural type area, small town. I'm from a small town in Texas. The population inside of Fairview is less than 10,000 people right now. So a lot of people live there, and then they commute out to go to work, whether it's Brentwood, Franklin, or even the Nashville area. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can sit there at the stop sign and the traffic is all heading out of Nashville. 5 o'clock, traffic's all heading back in. Fairview is again just a community that has, some dining and some retail, but it's not an industry focused or business focused community where businesses on a large scale, like the hospital, corporations and the music corporations are setting up, shop at this point, their headquarters or anything. So a lot of migration during the day out and a lot of migration in the evening coming back in. But still Williamson County, great school system, great athletics, great community. I've done a virtual walkthrough of Fairview in depth on the community, the rec center in Fairview, the 700-acre natural park, which is only found in Fairview and it is a hidden gem. All the school systems as well. My kids have gone into those, so I can answer some very detailed questions on those. But also the new communities and the new construction coming online. Like I said earlier, my town has about 10,000 people in it. We right now have approved and already broken ground and started construction on a total of about 2,000 to 3,000 new rooftops being built in Fairview over the next 3 to 5 years. Again, approved by the city. A lot of them already started with their streets and water, and a lot of them have already started building their houses. So these are kind of tucked away in Fairview. If you want to know about those communities and about Fairview, a little bit about myself in that regard, I've come into real estate from a development and construction standpoint. So I've built houses before. So I understand from the concrete to the chimney how these builders are designing and building and then supporting their houses that are coming online. You're going to want to understand that as well too, because there's going to be choice, there's going to be variety to choose from, and you're going to want to understand exactly what you're getting when you're buying one of these builders' homes, and I can help walk you through that. I've got relationships with these builders. I meet with them regularly on what they're expecting to build, how many lots they're expecting to receive, what their build time frame is, their finish outs, how they want to progress through their construction. There's communities that are under a 30-year construction plan and they're in year 4 or 5 because they don't want to inundate the new residents with constant construction coming through their streets all at once for 800 to 900 homes, right? They want to be able to navigate past the residential area for people that are already bought and make the construction sort of behind them so they're not being inundated with trucks and vendors and so forth coming in trying to get stuff done, okay? Another area that I want to point on the map here is Arrington, Tennessee, which is in the southeast part of Williamson County and just east of Franklin off of the Murfreesboro exit, or a lot of people know it too as Highway 96 because it extends through there. And the reason I'm pointing that out is there's a really cool vineyard out there that's partly owned by Kix Brooks, but also being in Williamson County, you're getting Williamson County schools, but there's a lot of new construction coming online out there as well too, including a new elementary and middle school to support all the new population that's going out that direction. I'm going to be doing a detailed walkthrough of that, of that area as well too, including the community is somewhat a community. It's not necessarily a city. So, grocery shopping, dining out, retail, those types of things, you'd still be accessing either Brentwood or Franklin for a majority of that. At this point, most everything going in out there are new subdivisions and housing communities. And there's properties out there that start in the range of $600,000 to $800,000, but also up to $3 to $4 million. And they're really beautifully and done and well planned out and designed. So, be looking for me on that when I post that on my channel. You're gonna want to subscribe. You're gonna want to click the bell so you're notified when I post. Again, a lot of interest in this area, a lot of people migrating in. Welcome to you from, Illinois, California, New York, Washington, wherever you're moving from. Great area to be in, a lot of information to take in, but I can help decipher a lot of that for you, distill a lot of that down for you, and really focus on what you're most interested in accomplishing, because you want to come down, make the right investment for yourself, for your family, and you want to find the right community that's a really good fit for you. Thankfully, in this area, there's a lot of variety, but you're going to want to understand what that means and how that fits into what you're trying to do. A lot of people work from home. Some of these areas may not have the best internet because they're out far out. So those types of things you're going to want to understand, and I can help you navigate all that. So Arrington, southeast, Fairview, southwest, going up of 65, Franklin, Brentwood into Nashville. That's truly what I define as the Middle Tennessee area. Again, you have towns and cities around Nashville, northeast and south, Mount Juliet, Lebanon, Gallatin, Hendersonville, Bellevue. Those kind of surround the, Germantown, surround the northeast part of Nashville. I'm going to back in right here, and I forgot to do something earlier, which is show you the airport. It's known as B&A Airport. So Nashville International Airport sits just east of Nashville on I-40. Let's do a direction to, Broadway. All right, so here you see on the map the amount of drive time between Nashville International Airport to the east and Broadway in the middle of Nashville. If you're familiar with these Google Maps, it shows you traffic, and it is Friday here. We have really wet weather out, so a lot of the traffic and congestion trying to get in and out of Nashville is probably backed up right now. But you can see, you come in, land at the airport, and typically, like I said, it's about a 15-minute ride into your hotel or timeshare rental, and you're setting down your bags, and it is literally in and out. Now, one thing too, I've been here about 10 years. Our airport is going through a massive renovation. So every time I go to the airport, I have to orient myself because they've added some new hallway or some new parking, and I'm getting turned around to where I'm going. So it's just a indication of our amount of growth. And our airport prior to the renovation was really small and really congested. So they're really expanding it to create better terminal access, more planes coming in and out, and to move the people in and out better, because we do have so much foot traffic, people traffic, businesses as well coming into the area that our previous airport did not support that. I was in Austin. We went through the same thing as well too. We had an older airport. We took over an old military base just outside of town and created a nice international hub in Austin. They're doing the same thing here just because of the amount of growth, again, in Middle Tennessee, which typically is defined by Davidson County with Nashville at the middle of it, and then Williamson County, which just borders the southern part of Davidson County, where there's a lot of residential and living communities in that area. So thank you for watching this. I understand how valuable everybody's time is. I hope I've served some value to you in this period of time that I've talked about Middle Tennessee. If there's anything that you have questions about, please write, please text, please leave a comment. If you liked what you've seen, please give me a like on that. I'll provide more content on things you guys like to see. Obviously, I need some indication from you that I'm on the right track. I do have some upcoming video releases for Franklin, as well as the communities there, Arrington, the communities there, and then some new communities that are coming online that I now have access to in Fairview, as well as some model walkthrough homes as well too. So again, thank you for your time. I'm Jack Lerond, your Nashville area real estate agent, and thank you for taking the time to walk through with me on the Middle Tennessee overview. Have a great day.